Hello, stars. My name is Blue, and today we are lost in Homestuck Epilogue. Meet chapter 12 through wherever we end up. Let's get started. So, we gotta hit Jane right in her neoliberal austerity measures. We're all agreed on that, right? Yeah, sure. Now she's gonna spin some shit about supply side economics, but we can't let her control the narrative on that one, cause the first thing that's gonna happen once she begins deregulating the baking industry is that some sweet dumb crocodile down in the consort land is going to start putting sparkle glue in the cupcake mix, which isn't even the real issue. That's just the surface issues. Right. Definitely. I mean, Earthsea has just been play acting capitalism the last 5,000 years, where we time skipped ahead to live rad lives as gods without bothering with any of the boring shit that goes into making a civilization. Which is fine. I mean, you can't really expect a bunch of teens who didn't finish middle school to set up a sustainable form of social democracy that isn't blatantly ripped off whatever we incorrectly thought Obama, God rest his soul, was doing back in the day. Sigh. But Jane's got this old school mentality. You just know she wants to restrict grist alchemy for the sake of growth, and when that goes down, it'll take 3 seconds flat for some nobody in New Durstown to drop the Earthsea Communist Manifesto, at which point we're in for a speed run of either our 20th century or her 21st century. We're going to glitch under the map straight from Marx to clown dictatorship, which also isn't the real issue. Oh yeah. Of course. Are you two even listening, or are you just making noises with your mouth? How dare you! I can't believe I'm being accused by Dave Strider, reigning empire, of spewing endless verbal diarrhea directly into my innocent hearing ducts every day of my fucking life of making thoughtless mouth noise. Jade, are you hearing this? I'm scandalized. Especially when there are so much better things we could be doing with our mouths. It's been a really nice day. I can't read today. It's been a really nice day they've been having, and then Jade had to go say something like that. The air in the hive changes in a way that's palatable, in a way that she can't seem to accurately gauge despite having both superhuman and super dog senses. She's lying on her stomach on the floor, chin in her palms. Glasses slid down to the tip of her nose, kicking her legs in the air. Elements of her outfit resemble her god-tier jammies. Pleasant skirt, sparkly flats, and bold choice of striped tights. Her tail swishes from side to side, showing way too much of her thigh, which really isn't all that delicious, considering 3 of her bras are thrown over the back of the couch where she crashed last night, and the night before that, and the better part of 7 years before that. Okay. There are other personal effects of hers in the living room too. Plants on the windowsill, her bass guitar sitting in a corner, a horrific-looking periodic table that Dave made for her 17th birthday, pinned above the stairwell. He typed it in Comic Sans and then deep-fried it to oblivion with JPEG artifacts. Everyone in the room knows each other way too well, so what happens next goes a little like clockwork. Says Carcat for 30 seconds straight as he retreats into the bulk of his sweater. He scoots about 1.5 feet to put his back against the couch when Jade pushes her glasses up on the bridge of her nose and looks at him. And Dave, with his preternaturally perfect timing, sweeps a hand over his tablet to bring a new PowerPoint slide on the TV. He returns to his Comic Sans written political presentation, gruesome artifacts and all, with the grace and proficiency of a man who has diffused an awkward situation in his own household many times per day, every day, for many years. Anyway, we all know the real issue is troll reproduction. This election season is going to be so jacked up with dog whistles Jade will never sleep again. Woof! Yo, get ready for the top propaganda hits of this year. Alternia, brutal eugenics space dictatorship. Goddamn! Not untrue. Troll Homeworld, Lord of the Flies, nightmare scenario where kids murder each other just to get the chance to get to grow up and murder other aliens instead. It wasn't that bad. Actual names of professions on Alternia: Thrush-Executioner, Legs is later. Can't read today. Lance Rutter. Who knows? Probably everybody. Minister of sucking the eyeballs out of your fucking skulls and pinning my two monstrous HR Geiger tiered troll dicks up there and just smashing the shit out of your brains with them. You made that last one up. Also, it was disgusting. Grow the fuck up, you utterly contemptible potty-mouthed cunt. Also, you know trolls don't actually have two dicks, Dave. That's an offensive stereotype. I know, that's the point. Keep up, guys. Ready for another one? Trolls literally ate babies. Only the defective ones. Like you, my dude? Yeah. So that's why our campaign can work. By the way, I'm going to be giving a long form exam at the end of this to make sure you're retaining info, because this is only like the most important thing we've ever done collectively. Sigh. Aside from creating the universe, I mean. It's not that it isn't important, Dave. It's that, like, the method you're using to communicate it is kinda ineffective and boring. You mean words. I mean your words specifically. We already understand the issues at play. You don't have to explain it to us over and over again like we're 12. Right, Carcat? Are you asking me whether I've heard this exact speech almost word for word, including rehearsed versions of both the colorful metaphors and jokes 10 or 20 times already? Because the answer would be yes. Of course I fucking have. Carcat elbows Dave in the thigh to a move that obviously is meant to be of pure brotherly jest, but instead comes off as affectionate and over-intimate. Jade's clever eyes didn't miss this. Her pupils swallowed a motion of Carcat's arm and then they follow the movement of Dave's mouth as he smiles in what he probably thinks is a totally natural expression that reveals exactly 0% of his true feelings towards Carcat Vantis. In reality, his veneer is as thin and transparent as cellophane. He is the only person who can't see through it. Jade does some calculations in her head. 2 kinds of calculations, in fact. Mathematical ones and personal ones. So, do you want a projection of her first year's hit on the economic down to the decimal with a 0.3% margin of error? Because that's the thing I can do if it'll make you stop talking about this stupid election for 10 minutes. Damn, hit me up, girl calculator. I don't think you're wrong about Jane's plans. She proceeds to dazzle the boys with explanations on complex math, utilizing taxation rates, GDP figures, and some damn thing called the Lafayette curve, which she easily could have just invented to own them both. But the truth is, she cares too deeply for these boys to fabricate a silly-sounding economic models on the spot in order to make them seem foolish in front of the camera later. Goddamn, words are hard today. The thing about Jade Harley is that she is not as good at personal things as she is at other things, like science, or mastering frame motifs, or kissing. That last one of which she definitely has put on a lot of levels into over the past few years because, well, what else are you supposed to do with immortal godhood once you hit the age where the dog's hormones start kicking into overdrive? She rolls over and hitches up on her palm so she can stare her two friends down. So she can stare her two friends down. Her high prescription lens make her eyes look anime huge. They might literally be glittering. She's so completely serious about the issue she's trying to stress. So, now that that's out of the way, it's time to get real, you two. Mouse. That wasn't an invitation for you to make a plan about having all the time in the world or whatever it was you were going to say. Oh. I'm about to lay out some cold hard evidence, so pay attention. Oh, hang on. Let me get a pen. Evidence about our relationship. Fuck. You let me live in your hive when I'm in town. I can't believe I'm pretty intimately entwined in both of your lives that you're just talking about this. And you don't disengage from about 86.234% of my flirtations. Wait, why the fuck would you keep track of something like that? So, are we doing this or not? Doing what? Dating, dummy! Oh, that is a complicated topic in my culture that I am not sure humans are equipped to talk about. Also, totally unrelated to the economy, which, not gonna lie, is the only thing I want to talk about for however long it takes for the other conversation to stop happening. So say no! I'm not just forcing this conversation for my own sake. It's for you two as well. I mean, after all this time, have you two even kissed yet? Okay. What? Why would we kiss? That's you. I mean, he's Dave. And I'm Carcat. Yes, he's Dave and you're Carcat, and everyone knows, and everyone we know always calls you that. Dave and Carcat. I can't remember the last time I heard anyone mention you without the other. The two of you totally have basically been together since your days on the meteor. It's so obvious. Together, yes, as friends. Yeah. Very close friends who understand and support each other on deep and empathetic levels that go beyond hate or pity. You could even say that our relationship transcends quadrants. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Carcat, but that sounds kinda gay. You human and your unfathomable gender-based quadrants. Jade face palms. She does it a little too hard and slams the bridge of her glasses into her forehead. Ow! Anyway, weren't you dating that Carapacian couple last time we checked? Jade drags her hands down the bottom of her face and sighs. Yeah, for fun. I'm 23. Don't you think that's a little too old to still be dating for fun? Wait, you're saying we aren't fun? When's the last time either of you left the house? Jade sighs and crawls closer. She takes one of Carcat's hands in hers. I think we'd all work good together. In her other hand, she tries to grab Dave's wrist. But he flash steps to the other side of the couch. She pouts at him and keeps holding Carcat's increasingly sweaty palm. And I think we've been dancing around that for years now. I want to try dating for real. Have you ever considered... Sorry if what I'm about to say totally blows your mind. Dating a single person for more than half a sweep for reasons other than initiating the concipient exchange of fluids. Jade's grip on Carcat's hand get a little too tight, but her big toothed smile remains flawlessly pleasant. This is a common sort of exchange between them and could be easily considered flirtation on several different metrics, especially considering the history between them and the sheer level of black flirtation that Carcat accidentally indulged in during his insecure youth. He doesn't even pull his hand away. God damn it, phone. First of all, don't slut shame me, fuck ass. Second of all, that's what I'm trying to do here. Third of all, Karkat, aren't you from a culture where people are expected to engage in romantic relationships with up to like 5 people at a time? That's not the same thing at all. Oh yeah? Explain the fundamental episode. Nope. Epistemological difference. What the fuck? Okay, Jade, I think there's a flaw in your approach here, because you seem to think winning an argument on a super clever logical grounds is gonna let a couple of dudes, it's gonna get a couple of dudes to break down and fling themselves at you, like, in like a sexual way. Well, it usually does. Oh my fucking god. This earns Dave a long, sad look that has Jade messing with her glasses again, so that way she can peer right at him and apply some more of that faulty personal math into his facial expression. Dave, what? Is this about Obama? What? No, Dave, are you in love with Obama? Jade, Jesus, where do you get this shit from? Is it about Jesus then? No, Jesus wasn't even real. I know he wasn't real. Wait. Are you saying Obama was real? Yes, Obama was real. He was the president. All this time I thought Obama was like an aspirational fictional character that you modeled your life after. I can't breathe. Like Snoop Dogg or Nicolas Cage. This is fucking ridiculous. They're both real too. I know that you grew up on an isolated island in the middle of nowhere, but but didn't you have like access to the internet? Wow, well, I'm sorry I wasted my whole childhood filling my head with pointless things with astrophysics and scenery numeral systems that allow me to do complex equations in my head. No, dude, that's kind of fucked up. Karkat, stop laughing. Jade's fucked up childhood of it isn't funny. Yes, it fucking is. Also, screw you for saying it's not funny. Like, why is it like some sort of tragedy? How was she raised? Because she was raised alone by an animal? I was raised alone by an animal. Fuck off and let me enjoy this. Karkat finally pulled his hand away so he can clutch his stomach. He's laughing so hard. Jade gets up and stalks over to where Dave is awkwardly cowering on the other end of the couch and snatches his tablet from him. There's a ripple in the room that makes it clear their god-tier powers have clashed against each other. He shifts his arm through time and Jade wraps the space around them so that she's the one holding the tablet. This is not the first time that they've rearranged the fabric of reality for a petty reason like this. Karkat has permanently sworn off playing board games with them. The moment Jade brings the paint program up on the television, Karkat stops laughing. No! He tries to grab the tablet from her, but she's hovering well above the ground, and he simply is not tall enough to reach. With a shit-eating grin and deliberate care, Jade begins to draw a grid. Oh god. I'll put this in terms Karkat will appreciate. Check it out. Jade, I swear to... Karkat jumps and tries to grab her skirt, but she swims through the air with ease, giggling as she doodles. You better not be drawing what I think you're drawing. Her artistic skill, even at an advanced age of 23, still leaves something to be desired. But it's pretty easy to produce recognizable caricatures of 3 people in the room right now. She gives Karkat a pair of fuzzy, angry eyebrows and starts drawing other lines. Sinister lines and with salacious meaning. It's exactly what Karkat fears. A shipping grid. Stop! Desist this moment. Do not draw one more line. Oh no, I'm drawing a line. Karkat better stop me before it goes all the way from my mouth to yours. Karkat catches the back of her skirt and she goes plummeting weightlessly to the floor, still laughing. Karkat tries to wrestle the pin out of her hand, but all he accomplishes is turning the random trajectory between her and Dave into a red rum loop. See, me and Karkat have great black chemistry. It is not black chemistry, you whore non-chitness when bag. Jade and Karkat roll each other on the floor as he gets a mouthful of her hair for his trouble. Jade comes out on top, sits on his back, humming to herself as she crafts her grand design. And now that's Dave. I'll chill. I'll chill. He'd make a great octopus. She says cheerfully and oblivious. No. Because you and Karkat are kind of like morals. No. And you and I, well, you know, it's always been pretty flirty. Jade. Except... Jade finishes her drawing of a shaky heart directly into the paint program. It's so big and bright on the TV that it fills the entire room with red light. Karkat raises his face and stares at it and utterly and bereft horror. The sick light makes the bags under his eyes look like divots. In this model, troll quadrants are dumb. So we all kiss. I call this political arrangement fully automated luxury polyamorous space-time communism. No one reacts. Karkat is defeated completely. Dave just crosses his arms and presses his mouth into a thinner line than usual. Jade's ears flatten and huffs, and she huffs. It sounds a little like a dog whining. Oh, come on! That was a good one! It's politically relevant and everything. Jade, I'm not gonna laugh at your made-up ship name for this imaginary threesome that's not happening. Jade rolls her eyes and tosses both the tablet and pin over her shoulder. Dave flashes across the living room to catch his very expensive computing device in both arms. The pin bounces off his forehead. Jade dismounts from Karkat's poor, abused, terribly mortal spine and brushes down her skirt. Well, I've said what I wanted to say. It's up to you what you do with it. I have to go talk to Roxy and Kelly about the election anyways. Call me when you two figure it all out. It's taken me 22 minutes just to get through one chapter and we're not even done. Jade clicks her heels together and propels herself back in the air and actually winks at them before absconding through an open window. She has to push the thick curtains aside to do so. Karkat hisses when light spills over his face. What Jade leaves in her wake is not quite an emotional scorched earth situation that she was going for, but a few of her needles has definitely got under some skin. Dave and Karkat both stare at her, silently caught in their own private realization spirals. Karkat needs to verbalize part of his out loud. Wow, what a crazy and totally improbable conversation we just had with our best friend Jade. Yeah. What a good thing for us that she's totally delusional and has no idea what she's talking about, huh? For sure. Dave offers Karkat a hand from the floor. That when their palms connect, there's a moment where something could happen. A little spark of potential. It would be so very easy for something to happen. Wanna play some Troll, Tony Hawk? Hell yeah. Okay. Be John again. It seems as if you're attempting to be John again, with the expectation that we might spend a little more quality time with him in his cubicle of misery and self-loathing. You guessed we might really start with to unpack his depression issues and get to the bottom of that. Well, nice try. John can't be here right now because he's stuck somewhere in the harrowing nexus between canon, post-canon, non-canon, outside canon, and fanon. He also can't be here right now because for the time being, we're done wasting our breath on such a sad loser. It's well overdue for the true hero of this tale to begin. It's well overdue for the true hero of this tale to take center stage. Be Vriska. Oh. Okay. Lord English stands before you in all his time-eating, universe-ending glory. You rode in here like a total badass, and now you're presidating the whole host of ghosts ready to throw themselves once more into the maw of this final battle. You know that this isn't your battle to win, but you're definitely the sign of the tide turning. Hell, you are the tide. This whole thing would have been pretty dismissal if you hadn't shown up with the treasure chest containing the ultimate weapon. Not to mention your flawless defeat of an obstructionist, hectoring orange man, who, for reasons you cannot begin to comprehend, seemed to be obsessed with you. You have already executed what is probably the most important tactical maneuver ever performed by a hero in the history of heroism. You deploy the White House-shaped juju from the red chest. It grew to an enormous size, slammed down on whatever was passing for the floor in this hysterical battle environment, and a door materialized on its surface. You now stand off to the side, looking especially pleased with yourself, waiting for the legendary weapon to unload itself towards the hulking tyrant. You've now got two bitches of either gender on your side. Your main girl, Mina, who you stole from that embarrassing past version of yourself that you owned so hard. You bet she's probably still crying. And Tavros. Not just any random ghost copy of Tavros, of which there appear to be thousands. Your Tavros, specifically, who have been pathetically trailing after you like a lost bark beast since you showed up. You'd be hard-pressed to describe what's happening right now. If they sent a poet, maybe he'd do a better job of it. But they sent someone actually useful instead. So you'll give it a shot. It looks to you like the complete obliteration of space and time, and the end of all things. The disintegration of literally thousands of ghosts, and no doubt your admirers out there would love it if you described it in all painstaking detail, but you're not an executionist. You just call it like you see it. And what you're seeing right now is pretty awesome. Observe Lord English. Kind of a overworked character design, you think to yourself. If someone showed you a drawing of like this on their flarp sheet, you'd probably be obligated to immediately kick their ass. There's a lot going on, from his vein-popping muscles, to his 8-ball eyes, to his pirate leg, and his obstentiously bright gold pimp cane. Years ago, you brutally criticized Trezzy for adding a dragon head staff to her red glare cosplay. The argument that ensued was so bad she didn't talk to you for an entire week. Now that you're seeing this, well, you wouldn't apologize to her, obviously. But in retrospect, maybe her accessorizing wasn't too bad. At least she understood the basic simplifications. The basics of having a simplified silhouette. I'm going back, Finn. You coming, Vis? Of course! But give me a minute. I want to see. Mina gives you a grin and a salute and leaves you to it. This is what you always felt you were destined for somehow. Standing in the end of the universe and seeing how it all goes down. Chavez is clinging to your arm like a little crybaby while crying, you assume, and probably soiling his dumb little pair of shorts. But not you. You're fearless. Your eyes go so wide that it feels like you're eating all the light through them. And that's what you are, after all. The thief of light. You crane back your neck and watch Lord English hit a crack in reality. It's beautiful. You thought maybe he'd do something stupid, like punch the sky with his gross throbbing muscle arm, but all it takes for him to shatter the roof of existence is a single ear-splitting roar. Around him, the ghost army scatters. Tavros flinches and hides his face on your shoulder, and probably pisses himself for good measure, but you get smashed in the head? It was so fast and dark you didn't see it. A shard of space-time that split off from above and hurtling towards you. Your body rocks back, whiplash fast, and you nearly kneel over. You're standing, though, and laughing. That's what you're doing when Lord English put a split in the fabric of reality. You were laughing, not crying. It didn't hurt at all. Vriska, are you okay? Shut up. I'm You stagger back and put a hand on the head wound. Your eyes spin, all 8 of them. It's not a big deal, though. Just a scratch. It's fine. 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 Your hand comes up, coated in thick blue, your hair soaked with it all the way down one side. Why is this broken space-time so sharp, like splintered obsidian? It feels like it barely grazed you, and yet everything around you begins to spin. You're not quite sure if you can't quite. A stream of blood begins to leak under your glasses. Noise whirls around you. Lord English losing his shit, ghosts shouting, moving. The broken glass sound of the ceiling of space splitting into 100 of shards of potentiality. There's a hum beneath it all. A deep, dark reverb. A black hole sucking everything into a dark maw of infinity. You wipe your bloody hand on the leg of your jeans and sneer with rage. You don't go down so easily. Chavos tries to steady you, but you slap his hand away. Fuck off! Okay. It looks really kind of extremely bad, though. You're so intolerable. I need to... Tavros, go find Mina. Now, Tavros. Tavros scurries off in the fray to find someone less worthless. Frisco, you're so mean. You try to catch your bearings so that you won't miss a single instant of the battle, but you're distracted by something in the corner of your glasses. Your Trollian alert is blinking. There's a message from Terezi. How long has this been there? Hours? Days? You suddenly wonder if it's been years from her perspective, waiting for you to respond, given how time moves differently out here. You were too preoccupied in your incredible heroics. Were you too preoccupied in your incredible heroic exploits to notice? Focus, Secret. Circuit. You used to be able to pronounce her name. This is no time for sentimental thoughts. You need to get a grip. Keep your head in the game. Both feet planted firmly. Whoops. Your feet slip. Without Tavros to keep you steady, you lose your balance and begin drifting. You try to regain your footing, but you realize you aren't in danger of falling over. That's not the problem. You can't seem to get your feet back on the floor. You feel light. You're floating. You feel your legs and scrape the tip of your toes against the floor, but it's no use. You understand what's happening. It's a black hole. It's starting to lift you up. You glance wide-eyed toward the glowing juju. All 4 of its chambers and peaked roof are pulsing with energy of raw intimates. This is it! Everything you've been waiting for. Whatever it is about to happen. Where's Mina? You desperately try to stable yourself, slow your ascent, anchor yourself back to the floor in some way. Anyway, but there's nothing to grab onto. There's blood in your eyes and your depth perception is fucked. Your hand goes wide and your fingers close around empty space as you reach impotently towards the glowing symbol of everything you ever believed you were meant for. This can't be how it goes. As you continue to levitate, gaining speed in direction of the insatiable cosmic body, you can see your blood trailing behind you in wet cerulean blobs. The juju glows brighter. You need to see what happens next. You need to see. You're so frantic and grasping for a purchase in the empty air that you aren't ready for it. Another black shard of space-time goes hurtling through the void, colliding with your chest right in the place where your ribcage connects and sending you spiraling faster towards the deep, dark maw of infinity. A black hole is something not even a god-tier player can survive, you suspect. And even if one could, you highly doubt there'd be any clawing your way out of its event horizon and back into relevance. Not this time. It's a fate worse than anything you can imagine. and as it truly sinks in what is happening to you, how this is ending for you, you finally lose all sense of composure. You flail, spin, and flip in helpless little circles like a bloody rag doll, and you begin to scream. John, emerge from the juju. The first thing you hear is a tiny scream getting sucked into oblivion. The voice is familiar, but not as familiar as the second thing you hear, which is a crack. Not just a crack in your ears. This crack goes all the way down your spine. You almost don't react because it's so familiar. Around you, a cacophony rises up in steam. Oh shit! It's really popping off in here. Dave's voice reminds you that your teammates have emerged from the house along with you. You survey the group. Everyone is accounted for. 3 confused, frightened teenagers. You can't see anything but big, bright smears along the horizon. You fish the 2 halves of your broken glasses out of your pocket and hold them up to your face. The scene comes into focus. The eye of the storm. A black hole so massive it stretches as far as you can see. An army of ghosts swirling and screaming, whipping around you like the leaves in the wind. And at the center of it all is Lord English, just like in your dream. You can feel it now. The moment reality yawns too wide and snaps in half. 36 minutes to get through 2 chapters. God, could not read today for some reason. Well, that's it for today, stars. Yeah, this is kind of a bad video. I was completely out of it while reading. But, that's it for today. I'll see you if you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to join our wonderful galaxy. Comment down below and I'll get back to you in some way or another, and I will see you for our next adventure. Remember, we're all made of the same cosmic dust, so be nice. Okay, love you, bye!